Hello and welcome to another update video about Quant. Quant just moving sideways at the moment. The situation is a little bit unclear here at the moment. I think it's important for you to understand the two key possibilities which there are on this chart. So you will remember that we talked about the move from the low at around $40 to $130 as a first impulse, that we expected from anywhere up here a wave 2 correction to the downside. Now, we talked in the previous video already about the possibility that wave 2 could be in here. Yeah, very important. We hit the 50% Fibonacci retracement level at $87. This could indicate that the wave 2 is already in. We had the green reversal area on the chart, and anyone who wanted to place a buy order could have done it here. So from that point of view, we would say that it is possible that wave 3, that we're already in wave 3. Now, before we go any further, let me give you a possible target for the wave 3 based on this assumption. So it would be that wave 3 should take us to around $237, the 1.618 fib extension. We then talked about, however, the other possibility, because this is only one possibility, to get clarity, about that, I would want to see impulsive price action above the previous wave B high, which is around $112.50. Then I would be leaning more towards the situation that the wave 2 was already in. At the moment, we're just hovering sideways, and this could be both. This could be a corrective move still, or we could already be in the impulse up. Not a very clear situation. I'd like to tell you anything different here, but it's not very clear. So wave 2 could have been in here. It could very well be that we come down once more here in a wave 2 further down. The problem is that Quant, compared to some other coins, is holding really, really well. Yeah, whereas we had quite a bit of a sell-off with certain coins in the last few days, Quant didn't really do that. So it could really, really be wave 2 was already in here. And if it was already in, then we have already seen the first 1-2 setup with a high likelihood. So let me show you that as well. It would have then be a wave 1 up here, the wave 2 down here, and we would already be in the wave 3, 4, 5. Now you can see why it is so important to get clarity now, the breakout above $112.50, because if we don't and we stay below that resistance level, this could just become some kind of a triangle, or be part of that wave C to the downside, which would be part of that scenario where we'll see one more low in the wave 2. So that is a breakout point that, of course, could be traded if you want to trade it. But there is no absolute certainty at the moment. We can really only be much more certain about this if we break out of the green area, so if we go above $125. Now, this is far away from support, again, and therefore this is probably not the best entry point here, but is something to be aware of. So the confidence that we are already in the wave 3 will increase if we break above $112.50, and in my opinion it will get very likely if we get above $125. Now, I just gave you the key target area for that, which is the $237 level. So there is still a lot in there should we only get clarity at $125, if you know what I mean. So at the moment, situation is fairly unclear, but I gave you the key breakout point here, which will give us more confidence that we're already in the move up. At the moment, I am still leaning towards the scenario that we will come down lower, but as you can see here, we're holding really, really well. So in that sort of bearish pattern, you can say that this was only a wave B, and we have done a wave 1 down. We can count 5 waves here. We have done a wave 2 up, and we are now, but again here the problem is the wave 2 came up a lot. Yeah, it basically maxed out absolutely what it could do. Yeah, it did not break above the wave 1. But it did not break above the wave B. So the bearish count here is still possible as a 1-2, but the wave 2 went to its limits. Yeah, basically 100% extension. You could 100% retracement, which is unusual. So it is a double top. The thing is, let's see, told you in previous videos, double tops are often very reliable, because if you retrace in a wave 2 to the beginning of wave 1, it's actually quite a bullish signal in this case, yeah, because you're basically maxing out what you can do. And that makes me consider, that's why I mentioned it in this video, the scenario much more that we could already be in the wave 3 up. But again, we need certainty. We need the market to tell us, which is why I would want clarity with a breakout above $112.50. Until we see that, I'd be focused on the downside here, that we have done a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up, and that we are in the wave 3 to the downside. Target for that wave 3 would be roughly the $83 level. That move down was fairly impulsive, and here we've made another lower high. But as you can see, we're at the moment in a situation where we're making higher lows and lower highs, so it is fairly uncertain. The market will tell us probably in the next few days, and this is sort of what I'm looking at here. Now, there is one more option, all right? And I'm going to summarize them all for you in the end. There is the option that indeed wave 2 was in here, that we have done a wave 1 to the upside, and this was only the A, this was the B, and we're coming down in a smaller C. So this, I think, would be a fairly attractive scenario. In that scenario, however, we need to hold above $88. So, okay, let me explain to you all three scenarios briefly again, and what I would personally do. So, the first scenario, which is the breakout scenario, would be that we have seen the wave 2 already in here, and that this was a wave 1, this was already the 2, and we're now in the move up 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that would eventually take us to $237, but this would probably only be the first wave of that third wave. Yeah, what is evolving here. So in that scenario, I would want a confirmation above $112.50. It would get much more likely above $125. And if we get above 125, I might wait for a, if I wanted to trade this long, you can trade the breakout, for example, or whatever. The second scenario is, okay, wave 2 was in. This here was wave 1 of wave 3, and we're coming down once more in a wave 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this would be the possibility that we come down once more in a wave 2, that this was only A, B, C. And if we look at that, then if we make any new lows, as close as possible above $87, the previous low, you could enter the market long. Yeah, but I would in that case set a tight stop loss and manage my risk very well. And then, because this might be an entry point, another dip here into the region $88, maybe $90, yeah, and then moving up from there. And again, key signals would be the breakout above $112.50 and $125. And the third option, which is here actually on the chart, is that wave 2 was not finished, and that we are heading down here in an A, B, and a large C that could come all the way down to $60, which would still be a bullish scenario, but it means that short term we are rather bearish before we move up in a larger wave 3. That would also take us to $237, maybe not that much, maybe sort of $220, $200. In this scenario, very important to understand that the $60 level is the limit. If we drop below 60, we are probably going into a bearish scenario and will make another low. Okay, so that means if we go below 60, the risk increases that we will also lose the $40 level. So this should be a very, very clear picture now of the quant chart. I personally will consider to buy in at $88 should we have another dip, yeah, because the possibility is there that wave 2 was already in. And if we now see the first 1-2 setup complete, yeah, I might buy in the region $88 to $90, speculating for wave 3 to the upside. Okay, and that's my update about Quant. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.